Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love, and this week I'd like to talk about private coaching. If you've heard any of my other podcasts, you'll remember that at the end I always say, if you're interested in private coaching, to contact me on my website. So this is a new field. We didn't have dating coaches, like 10 years ago. Basically, people went to psychiatrists and psychologists and therapists if they had dating issues. But the problem is that those people that are actually overqualified unless they specialize in dating issues, because they're trained to deal with mental health issues, neuroses, and psychoses, and it's almost overkill to go to a therapist or a psychiatrist if you have a dating issue, if you're wondering what's going on with your love life. And so I think it's a great thing that people start to specialize in coaches for dating, and you get to learn from people's mistakes. A lot of times people go into coaching because they made a lot of mistakes, and this applies to me with their life, with their love life, and so now they want to help others to make sure they don't make the same mistakes. So you get to learn from our knowledge and wisdom. And that's basically how I started, because I was very interested in the topic of love and dating, because I would always seem to make a lot of mistakes, and it was always a topic I was reading the most about. And finally I thought, well, let me try and do something with this. So if you're on the fence about whether you want to do private coaching, or if you need to, or if you should, then look at it this way. You can always make more money, right? But you can't always make more time. There's only a limited amount of time available. It's a non-renewable resource, so you can continue on your own, and you can continue making your mistakes and muddling your way through, and hopefully figuring it out at some point, months from now, years from now, and then you'll go, oh, if I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have done that. Or you can speak to a dating coach, and we will help you get through issues a lot faster and save a lot of time. That's basically what we're really doing, is saving you time and also drama. I had this one client, he was interested in this woman for over a year, and they would hang out kind of as friends, and nothing would ever really happen, and he wondered what was going on, and what should he do? He was interested in her. So after speaking with me, I told him what he needed to do, and within days, literally, he found out what the situation was, the fact that she wasn't interested in him, and he was able to happily move on, knowing that he finally had his answer, and now he could look for someone who really was actually interested in him. I also had a woman whose relationships would end after 2 or 3 months. It was always the guys that would end the relationship, and she never knew what the problem was. And so after one session with me, I asked her a lot of questions to try to figure out what it could be, because it could only be a certain number of things. And we nailed it. We figured out what it was. And now she can change her behavior. She can stop doing what she was doing and not have to get to the age of 40 and still be single and still be childless, wondering if she's ever going to find Mr. Right and have a family and have children. And that was with just one session. Now, interestingly enough, while I was thinking about doing this week's podcast, I actually came upon an article on a news site called bustle.com, B-U-S-T-L-E, and they actually have an article called 4 Times to Trust Someone Other Than Yourself. I thought, well, that applies to a dating coach, because you may think that you can figure it out yourself, but a lot of times you can't. And I will quickly go through these 4 things. The first one is if you're dealing with a substance abuse issue. That has nothing to do with me. I do not specialize in that, so do not contact me for that. But the other 3 do apply to hiring a dating coach. The next one is you seem to be stuck in the same destructive pattern. So that would be like the woman I just told you about, whose relationships would always end after a few months, and she didn't know what was going on. The third one is numerous well-intentioned people in your life are saying or doing the same thing. So if you keep running into the same situation, same people acting the same towards you, no matter who you date, you just keep changing. It's the faces keep changing, but the situation or their behavior is the same. Then you're like, well, I'm the common denominator here, so maybe I need to change something. And then finally, the last one is you're too emotional over someone to see them objectively. And this really applies to dating, because when you're really into someone, you've got blinders on, you're so into them, you can't really see the truth. You make excuses for their behavior, and sometimes you need someone to tell you the truth of what's really going on. And a dating coach can definitely do that because we're objective. And, we're not like your mother who might be trying to get you to get married as soon as possible. And she'll say, well, it's okay. Or we're not like a friend who might be jealous or have an agenda. We're objective. We don't care. We just want the best for you, and we just want the truth to come out. So whether you hire myself or someone else, there's a lot of people. You have to find someone that you're comfortable with, that you like, and that you, above all, trust. So, having said that, if you think you might be interested in some coaching, you can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net, and I will send you my rates and answer any questions you might have. And that's it. So until next time, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.